Okay, so hello and welcome to everyone. We are officially live. Today we are going to be continuing to look at the teachings from Zen Master Empty Cloud, but we will also take a look at posture. So we will, I'm not an expert in yoga, or I don't have the best sitting meditation posture, but to give some basic instruction, some basic information about the position, the posture that we should sit in. And so when we start, we'll take a few moments, a few minutes to look at posture in that way. Hello, Karuna. Um, cannot hear you yet, but maybe in a moment I'll be able to hear you. Yeah, so it can be complicated to navigate. Yeah, you can also always type and say hello that way. So I was saying we're live on YouTube now, and we're going to go over a few points on posture today before we get into our reading of the teachings from Zen Master Empty Cloud. Don't worry too much, Karuna, if you can. If you can't find the audio, sometimes I have the same kind of thing come up even after doing this for quite a while. So just make an announcement in the Discord, and then we'll get started in a few moments. Hello, Susan on YouTube. And Nikki, welcome in, Nikki. Okay. Okay. Hi there, Fabian and Francie and Aridia. Hello to Mihir and Raquez. And welcome Zach and Vidura over on YouTube. Anushka. Okay, sorry about that. All right, hello Sheila, Anna, Cliff, Great to have everyone joining. Just about another 5 minutes or so before we officially begin, before we officially get started. So time to settle in. We will also be today looking a little bit at posture, talking a little bit about posture. So you might want to make sure that you have a bit of an area where you can spread out and practice. Hi there, Longha and Ku, Kevin and Kate. And David and Anna. Have you seen Maurizio anywhere? Hey there, Jeremy. And hello, Jay Cagnall. Nice to have a good group here. And Zeros, Kate on YouTube. Hi, Abby. Hopefully you're feeling better each day, each hour. Abby is recovering from COVID-19. Little by little, good. Okay, and hi there to Patrick. Welcome, Patrick. And Mickey and Fuad on YouTube. Nice to have a good group today. So we are going to get started with our practice today with a little bit of a talk, a little bit of information on posture, the way that we hold our body in meditation and how we should sit. So to do that, I will be moving a little bit. It's amazing how things can become tangled. But when we come to a meditation session like this, a meditation practice like this, um, we want to usually try to arrive on time or to arrive a little bit early. And we immediately come into the space and we find the best posture that we can, the best way that we can be sitting, and we enter into stillness. We start to settle and start to calm. So when we gather together for meditation, it's not a time for chit chat, not a time for kind of moving around and jumping around, but we want to start slowing down and settling as much as possible, because the space is not just for us, but it's also for the people who are coming here to join in the practice. And so if other people are showing up and there's noise and there's movement, it can be difficult for them. It can be confusing for them. Not all of us are in the same kind of, I don't want to say level of practice, but the same degree of experience with meditation. So it's easy for us to be discouraged, to give up, to feel uncomfortable or feel confused about what's happening. So that quietness, that stillness that we step into when we go to a meditation center or to a temple, or we join a group like this, it's really essential, not only in supporting ourselves and getting the most out of it for ourselves, but also making the space for other people to really be ideal. And that's what we work to do together. So we'll start today with a little bit of a talk and a sharing on posture. So if you can find I guess it's not convenient for everyone to spread out and still be looking at your screen. So maybe just watch, but if you can watch and also spread out a bit, then that's good. Hopefully this will be a good enough kind of angle here. So in sitting meditation, we have to use the body. The body is our way of sitting, our way of doing meditation. I have to lower this a bit. Yeah, I can lower this all the way down. A little bit here. It's all right. Okay. Yeah, still connected. So we've got the legs, the feet, the stomach, the back, the whole body. That is this major part of our meditation practice. And so how we hold the body, how we sit with the body in meditation is very important. So we can start off just by stretching our legs out like this, if you can. If you can't, just watch along, follow along, and you'll get some information. So we can stretch out our legs like this. And then in sitting meditation, the most common is to sit kind of cross-legged. So we bring one leg in, and then we can bring the other leg in. So when we do this, we have kind of a platform for sitting. We have this this triangle that we can sit on. And we want to bring a lot of attention and awareness to our pelvis. Could you grab the pelvis over there? We want to bring a lot of attention in our sitting to the pelvis, all right? So the pelvis looks something like this. This is a human pelvis, okay? Don't ask where I got it. I wasn't always a monk. So this human pelvis here is kind of representing what we have in our pelvis area, okay? And our legs come out like this. So when we sit cross-legged, the pelvis can either be forward, which helps our back to be straight and our shoulders to be back, or it can be forward, or it can be kind of turned in like this. So either the pelvis can be either forward or folded in. Forward or folded in. And so we want the pelvis to be forward so that our chest is open, so that our back can be straight, and so that we have a very stable platform to sit in. The platform of our body, our legs cross-legged. So to do that, what we need is a cushion. You need to use a cushion when you practice meditation most of the time. So you could hand me this cushion here. This is just a normal pillow, okay? And so if we want to sit in a good meditation position, we can take a normal pillow, fold it up, and it's a learning process. Each time is going to be learning, the thickness of the pillow and how to fold it enough, or if we need 2 pillows or 3 pillows or what have you. But we can take that pillow and we just put it under our butt and we sit kind of forward on it. Now when we do that, the pelvis can rest. The pelvis can be in a forward resting position so that we don't have to hold the pelvis forward. We don't have to strain ourselves to do that, but that it just naturally rests in this forward way. And then our shoulders are back, our back is straight, and we can kind of sit comfortably, stably. And then the basic premise is just extend your legs. If you're sitting on your bed or a couch or the floor, and use a cushion, and then bring one leg all the way into your groin area, and then bring the other leg in. And that's one of the easiest ways to sit in a kind of a yoga or a formal meditation position. Now, if you're particularly stretchy, then you can take one of your legs and you can put them up on your thigh. And then your knees and your thighs are even lower so that your platform here, your triangle, is even lower to the ground, so you can be even more stable. So shoulders back, the back somewhat straight, the pelvis is forward, supported by some cushion, or maybe sometimes certain couches or certain chairs are very supportive. The stomach is open, the chest is open, shoulders are back, the head is kind of upright. And it's in this kind of position that we practice formal meditation. And we want to have this stability, a position that we can come back to time and time again. But it's a learning process. And what can be very helpful is sitting meditation on a couch or in sometimes a lazy boy chair or a big chair like that can help to push your pelvis forward and to sit comfortably. Does anyone have any questions about this instruction on meditation posture? Yeah, many people are not flexible enough to sit in different positions of meditation. That's why we can sit on a couch, we can sit in a not stable, not correct position, and we can still practice. But if we can move towards sitting in a more stable position, then that's ideal. then that's great.
Quello lui consiglia anche di, ho detto appena adesso, consiglia anche di utilizzare magari il divano o una sedia comoda, naturale che all'inizio uno deve trovare.
And the story, and just make this pelvis sit in meditation with us.
Ma prova magari una situazione più comoda. Ma quello va bene.
And the story about the pelvis is that the temple here was originally, this is a home, a villa, Italian villa, that was originally built for a doctor. So this is some of the relics or the artifacts that that doctor had. And wherever you're sitting, in whatever position you're sitting, whatever kind of chair or train seat, um, or anthill or bush of thorn bush that you're sitting on, you can still bring these same principles of your pelvis being forward, your shoulders being back, your stomach opened, your chest opened, and also a sit with a dignity. So we know that this is not something for us to be proud of necessarily, but it's something that we can really sit in a way where we recognize the wholesomeness of it and the goodness of it. So we don't need to sit with any kind of shame or any kind of shyness or embarrassment in our meditation posture, because it's something that's really wonderful and really good. So we sit in a way that embodies that. Okay. So let's take a few moments to sit in a way that embodies that. I'll ring the sound of the bell and we can all listen deeply to that sound. Spend a few moments to settle into the space together. Being together, practicing meditation, quite a precious gift. And we can start to focus on our breath and really settle in and sink in to this moment. So just finding our comfortable, stable meditation position. focusing on the breath, just breathing and being aware. As we find the breath and find the body, as we begin to touch and go deeply into stillness, into awareness, it's as if we are wandering in the forest and we find a beautiful small pond, hot spring. It's warm, clear, welcoming, friendly. And as we step into it, we begin to dive, to go deep into this hot spring in the forest, in the woods. Something about it is so inviting, so welcoming. There's a sense of safety and brightness in this water. And so we kind of dive down deep into it, and somehow we find that this spring, this body of water is so deep, so alive with stillness, with peace. Breathing and diving, enjoying this depth of warmth, safety, the security of just breathing and being aware. not to fall into any kind of sleepiness, but continuously noticing, continuously being aware. Comfortable in our own bodies, sitting here in stillness, not going anywhere, not doing anything, just breathing and being aware. So today we will continue our reading of the teachings from Zen Master Empty Cloud. So you're encouraged to listen to these teachings as a kind of meditation, but also um, make sure that you're comfortable and relaxed. You don't need to sit in a strict meditation posture as we go over these teachings. Mickey, could you bring the headphones to Maurizio? We have a guest here at the temple that does not speak any English, so we give him a talk to listen to with some headphones.
Using your phone.
Yeah, this headphone here. He can put them on. He can put them on. No, just to put on.
Yeah, left and right.
Oh yeah. He can put them. Okay. All right, so let's begin with our reading. We left off last time with talk about the determination, I believe, resourcefulness, the willingness to continue to try again and again in our practice, not to give up. So we will continue on with chapter 9, wordless transmission. Wordless communication. Stay with Zen. This is the most efficient way to attain enlightenment. Don't allow yourself to be tempted into adopting other methods or philosophies. Even Yongjia, by his own admission, wasted a lot of time with intellectual philosophizing before he tried the Zen method with Patriarch Hui Nang. In my youth, he said, I studied sutras and texts and commentaries, trying endlessly to discriminate between name and form. I might as well have tried to count sand grains in the oceans. I had forgotten the Buddha's question, Does a person who counts other people's gems get any richer? So really to experience for ourselves, not to rely on um, philosophizing, intellectualizing, um, not to try and adopt or adapt to other people's experiences, but to know for ourselves, to experience for ourselves. Does a person who counts other people's gems get any richer? The Zen method is truly like the Vajra king's sword. Vajra is a thunderbolt or a mystical weapon. So the Zen method is truly like a thunderbolt king's sword. In one stroke, it can cut through illusion to reach Buddhahood, can cut through attachment to reach peace. Whenever I think about the years of practice that often precede enlightenment's momentary experience, I think about Chan Master Shenzan. We can all learn a lot from him. Shenzan had a master who unfortunately was not enlightened. One cannot give what one does not own, and so, empty-handed, Shenzan left his old master in order to go and study with Master Baizang. Now, under Master Baizang's guidance, Shenzan attained enlightenment, and then, with fond respect, he went back to visit his old teacher. The old man asked him, "What did you learn after you left me?" And because he was enlightened, Shenzan was able to reply kindly, "Nothing, absolutely nothing." To the old man, this was bittersweet news. He was sorry that his student hadn't learned anything, but he was happy to have him back. "If you want, you can stay here," he said. So Shenzan stayed and served his old master. One day, while taking a bath, the old man asked Shenzan to scrub his back, which was very dirty. As Shenzan began to scrub, he said, "Such funny crystal windows in your Buddha hall." His master didn't know what he meant. "Please explain your remark," he asked. As Shenzan continued to scrub away the dirt, he said, "Although you can't see in, your Buddha self sends out such illuminating rays." This answer puzzled the master. A few days later, as the old master sat under a waxed paper window, studying a sutra, a bee began to buzz around the room. And the bee, drawn to the outside light, kept crashing into the window paper, trying to get out of the room. Shenzan watched the frustrated bee and said, "So you want to get out and enter the infinity of space. Well, you won't do it by penetrating old paper." Then he said simply, "The door stands open, but the bee refuses to go through it. See how it knocks its head against the shut window. Foolish bee, when will it understand that the way is blocked by paper?" Now a glimmer of light began to penetrate the teacher's mind. He sensed the deeper meaning of Shenzan's words. Slyly he asked, "You were gone for a long time. Are you sure you didn't learn anything while you were away?" Shenzan laughed and confessed, "After I left you, I studied under Master Baizang. Through him, I learned how to halt my discriminating mind, to cease being judgmental, to transcend the ego's world. Through him, I attained the holy fruit of enlightenment." Now, when the old master heard this wonderful news, he assembled all the monks and ordered that a banquet be prepared in Shenzan's honor. He was so happy. Please allow your old master to become your student, he asked Shenzan. Please expound the Dharma to me, especially that business about the baths and bees. Shenzan laughed. Your Buddha self shines out from you even though you can't see it for yourself. It is always pure, and no amount of dirt can ever soil it. Also, your eyes are always turned outwards, fixed on printed pages, but infinity cannot be captured in words. Books only engage us in debates. If you want to be free from illusion, you must turn inwards. The way into infinity is on the other side of your gaze. Look inward to see your shining Buddha self. Suddenly the old teacher understood. Suddenly he saw into his own Buddha nature. He got so excited that he declared that Shenzan would be the abbot of the monastery. Who would have believed that in my old age I finally would have made it across, he shouted, across the sea of suffering, the sea of delusion, the sea of samsara. So the path to enlightenment in Buddhism is often talked about going from one shore to the other with the boat of the Dharma, with the boat of the teachings, the boat of the practice. So we are on the shore of suffering, of attachment, of delusion, complicated thinking, stress, or worked up. But with the teachings, with the meditation, with the Buddha, we have a kind of raft to take us to the other shore, the shore of liberation, the shore of freedom from suffering, freedom from attachment. So the old man said, who would have believed that in my old age I finally would have made it across, he shouted. But that's what's so nice about the eternal moment, isn't it? Step outside of time just once, and all the years you spent in ignorance and suffering recede into vagueness. They are only something you seem to remember. Your old small self is gone, and all those old enemies and friends and relatives, and all those old experiences, bitter or sweet, have lost their power over you. They were like a cinema show, believable while you were in the theater, but not when you come out into the daylight. Reality dispelled the delusion. Who would have believed that in my old age, after all this time, I finally would have made it across? I finally would have realized peace at this moment. But that's what's so nice about the eternal moment, this moment eternally, isn't it? Step outside of time just once, and all the years you spent in ignorance and suffering recede into vagueness. All that suffering, all that complicated thinking, all of that trauma and difficulty, confusion, receding into vagueness, passing away into being a mist, a fog, a smoky cloud. Those experiences are only something you seem to remember. Your old small self is gone, and all of that small self's old enemies and friends and relatives and all of their old experiences, bitter or sweet, have lost their power over you, over that small self. They were like a cinema show, a movie, a TV show, a variety show, a news broadcast, a cinema show, believable while you were in the theater, but not when you come out into the daylight. Reality dispels the illusion. So when we come together and practice meditation in this way, we are just like the old teacher. And who would have thought after all this time, after all of our unskillfulness, after all of our mistakes and our wasted time and our unhealthy habits and preferences, that we will finally make it across, finally realize a sense of peace, awareness, liberation at this moment. Dispelling the illusion with reality, this moment, reality as it is, experiencing it right now. Who would have thought? In nirvana, you are neither young nor old. You just are. And who are you? That's easy. The Buddha. So let's practice to be Buddhas together. You can take a moment to find your posture, your position. Getting comfortable, getting cozy with our Buddha self, our Buddha mind. Such a treasure, so precious to be practicing together in community and to have a healthy body and mind, to have some decent teachings for us to listen to, and now to drink all those teachings in, to drink all this wisdom in, to cross the shore, to wake up to peace at this moment. As we hear the sound of the bell, we are all invited to practice together, remembering your meditation method. Maybe it's following the breath, maybe it's being aware of the body, maybe it's just sitting here, being aware, being with what's happening. But whatever your meditation method is, know it clearly, simply, and as we hear the sound of the bell, we will practice together. to enjoy our meditation, but also to stay aware, awake. As our relaxation deepens, so too as our relaxation deepens, so too should our concentration. So we enjoy our meditation practice, but also to be awake, aware, not in a sleepy state. So we can start to slowly move our body, start to stretch out a bit. Can massage your face, your head. When we rub the hands together like that, we can get some heat in the hands and massage our face. And massage our ears and our neck. So today, as it is a Sunday, we can say this is commonly the Lord's Day, and in our case, that will be the Lord Buddha's Day. I like to offer the opportunity to take a refuge and to take the precepts. So this is something that we do every day here at the temple. But basically, this is the regular process, the regular practice of, you can say, becoming a Buddhist or being a Buddhist, is that you take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So you take refuge in the Buddha as the enlightened teacher. You take refuge in the Dhamma as the skillful teachings that enable you to cross to the other shore. And you take refuge in the Sangha. Traditionally, this means the community of enlightened monks. But in a more modern sense, it means the community of practitioners, that we take refuge in the community of practitioners in the Sangha. And then also to offer the 8 precepts. Okay, so you don't have to participate if you don't like, but if it's something that you're interested in, um, we will do that now. We will practice that. I just need to get my sheet. Oh, you can use it if you like. Okay, so how we do this is basically we have the traditional um, Pali, the traditional Buddhist language. So also I will post in the voice text if you like to have this sheet in front of you. Then you can use it. Let me see here. Eight precepts, PDF, and the Itipiso. So that should be everything that you need. But so like I said, it is to take refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and then to take the precepts. So actually, you don't need the Itipiso. To take refuge in the precepts, or to vow to follow those precepts. So when we take the precepts, it's making a commitment to bring a sense of virtue and ethics into our life. And so we kind of communally vow to follow these precepts. So that is not killing, not stealing, um, the precept of not engaging in sexual activity. So you can take that for a day. Usually the 8 precepts is something that you'll take for a day, like a particular holiday at the temple, Buddhist holiday, or if you're staying at a retreat center, then you will take the 8 precepts. But other than that, you'll take the 5. But for today, what you can do is make the vow that you will follow these precepts today, and it becomes kind of a practice day, and you can bring it into your life moving forward as well. So the precept of not engaging in sexual activity, the precept of not telling lies, and this includes any kind of harsh speech or rough speech. The precept of not using intoxicants, so no intoxicating substances, no alcohol or weed or anything like that. Um, Undertaking the precept to refrain from entertainments and self beautification, dance, song, music, entertainments, jewelry, fragrances, cosmetic adornments, um, and the precept of not using high or large beds. So not sleeping in luxury, and also the precept of not eating at inappropriate times. So in that case, you can consider it to be not overeating or not eating after noon. Depends on how you want to practice with it. Uh, Aridia, do you have a question? Hold on, Aridia, I'm not able to hear you.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
so, uh, does Buddhism forbids music or fun of any kind?
No, but when you are practicing meditation, it's not time to do a music. So these are
No,
the
as in like
precepts. These are the
after meditation.
Yes, so these are the precepts for a day of mindfulness, a day of meditation, or the precepts that you would take if you were staying at a temple. And so, as this is a Sunday, you can make this your day of practice or your afternoon of practice, where you refrain, you abstain from entertainments, which can be distracting. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So, how we will do this is I will say the word in Pali, and then you repeat it. You repeat it back to me. And then we will do the same with English. All right, so we'll go through it, and if you want to also take these, then you can say it along at home. All right, sound good to everyone? All right. And for the Pali, of course, you don't speak Pali. I don't speak Pali, but we can just listen to the sound and the sincerity of it, and then we'll do the same in English afterwards. Okay? Heart to heart, center to center. Let's try together. All right? And if you can't speak out loud, you can say inside. Use your inside voice. So I will say it, and then you say it back to me. Buddham saranam gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Tutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami.
Tutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi
Tatyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Tatyampi Buddham Saranam Gacchami.
Tatyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Tatyampi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami.
Tatyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Tatyampi Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Now we will say in English, you can repeat after me. I take refuge in Buddha.
I take refuge in Buddha.
I take refuge in Dhamma.
I take refuge in Dhamma.
I take refuge in Sangha.
I take refuge in Sangha.
A second time, I take refuge in Buddha.
A second time, I take refuge in Buddha.
A second time, I take refuge in Dhamma.
A second time, I take refuge in Dhamma.
A second time, I take refuge in Sangha.
A second time, I take refuge in Sangha.
A third time, I take refuge in Buddha.
A third time, I take refuge in Buddha.
A third time, I take refuge in Dhamma.
A third time, I take refuge in Dhamma.
A third time, I take refuge in Sangha.
A third time, I take refuge in Sangha.
We will now take the 8 precepts. I will say in Pali, and you can repeat after me as best as you can. Panatipata Viramani.
Panatipata Viramani.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Adinadana Viramani.
Adinadana Viramani.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Abramacharya Viramani.
Abramacharya Viramani.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Musavada Viramani.
Musavada Viramani.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sura Maraya.
Sura Malaya.
Maja Pamadatana.
Majja Pamadatana.
Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Vikala Bhojana.
Vikala Vajana.
Viramani
Veramani
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Sikapadam Samadhiyami.
Nacha Gita Vidita.
Nacha Gita Vadita.
Visuka Dasana Mala.
Visuka Dasana Mala.
Ganda Vilepana.
Ganda Vinapana.
Dharana Mandana.
Dharana Mandana.
Vibhusanatana.
Vibhusanatana.
Viramani Sikapadam
Veramani Sikapadam
Samadhiyami.
Samadhiyami.
Uchasayana,
Uchasayana,
Mahasayana,
Mahasayana,
Paramani,
Paramani,
Sikapadam Samadhiyami,
Sikapadam Samadhiyami,
Imani Atta,
Mani Atta,
Sikabadani,
Sikapadani,
Samadhiyami.
Samadhiyami.
We will now repeat in English. I undertake the precept of not killing.
I undertake the precept of not killing.
I undertake the precept of not stealing.
I undertake the precept of not stealing.
I undertake the precept of not engaging in sexual activity.
I undertake the precept of not engaging in sexual activity.
I undertake the precept of not telling lies or speaking harshly.
I undertake the precept of not telling lies or speaking harshly.
I undertake the precept of not using drugs.
I undertake the precept of not using drugs.
I undertake the precept of not eating at inappropriate times.
I undertake the precept of not eating at inappropriate times,
such as overeating.
such as overeating.
I undertake the precept of refraining from self-beautification and entertainments.
I undertake the precept of refraining from self-gratification and entertainment.
I undertake the precept of not overindulging in luxury.
I undertake the precept of not overindulging in luxury.
I undertake these 8 precepts.
I undertake these 8 precepts.
Having taken refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, having made commitments to follow these ethical precepts for living, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be free from suffering, may your goodness inspire others, and may others inspire your goodness. May it be so, may it be so, may it be so. We can now say sadhu 3 times together. Sadhu. 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 Okay, so you're now officially Buddhist, at least for today, and you can follow these 8 precepts today, and in general, in a normal life, you can follow the 5 precepts. At this time, the 5 precepts of not killing, not stealing, avoiding sexual misconduct, avoiding false or harsh speech, and abstaining from drink and drugs. Okay, but today you can make it a practice day and to follow those 8 precepts. Big one is not too much entertainment, not too much self-beautification, and not overeating, and no sexual activity for one day. You can try it. So at this time, we have the opportunity for questions. So if anyone would like to speak up and ask a question, you have the opportunity to do so. Genti, you have a question?
Yes. Can you
Okay,
hear
go
me?
ahead. Yeah.
Um, does the medication I take will it fall under drugs or not?
No, to not take things that intoxicate us, that we take for the sake of pleasure or to get high. This does not include medicine. There's no anti-medicine stance in Buddhism. So please take your medicines, and you won't be breaking the precept by doing that.
All right, thanks. This was my question.
Please, here. I need all that. Give me this one. I need this one too.
Okay, anyone else? How about Anna? You have a question there with your mask on? Or David?
No.
Okay.
I have a question.
All right, Thor.
I enjoy writing at times, and I find that entertaining at times. Would writing count as? I use it to like calm down and relax, but would that count as indulging in entertainment?
No, that's an
Okay.
activity. That's like a practice. But if you wanted to make today a practice day, then you could either abstain from it, or you can write about meditation. You can write about your direct experience at this moment, the experience of the body, the experience of the mind. And so that can be a meditation exercise rather than a form of entertainment.
Thank you.
David, you want to ask something? Okay. All right, everyone. So thank you for joining. And the article, the information for the precepts are in the voice text chat, so you can have access to that, and it's definitely a point of discussion, something to look into more about the precepts and living according to precepts. One last comment here from Braden about too much entertainment or self-beautification or absolutely no entertainment. So to follow the 8 precepts for a practice day, then you will abstain from the entertainments. Like if you're on a meditation retreat or you're living at a temple, then you will be following the 8 precepts. But in your normal life, you can just take a day, like today, or you can take half a day to not watch any entertainment, to not beautify the self, perfumes or makeup or anything like that, and just a small period of time that's for introspection and contemplation. And then tomorrow, just follow the 5 precepts, which are I'll post them in the voice text again, just so you have them. Okay, Braden? All right. So take yes, Anna.
The precept about beds, not using high or big beds, that means that we won't use our bed today?
No, just don't overindulge in sensuality. So don't take too long of a hot shower today. Don't if you have 10 pillows on your bed, just use one tonight. Be practical about it. And you just do your best to follow it. It's more the intention. So don't over luxuriate yourself. And if you can, if you're able, then yes, sleep on the floor. That's great. Put down a blanket, sleep on the floor with a pillow, and don't sleep in a high or luxurious bed. Okay?
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. So following the precepts and emphasizing in our life virtue, ethics is a big, big part of the path. and it supports us to meditate, and it supports us to be upright, to be in a way where we don't feel ashamed or we don't feel clouded in our mind, but when we have a sense of balance and stability, when we not only just following the precepts, but emphasizing in how we live to be aware that, oh, I'm trying to live skillfully. And that helps us to be more mindful in general. Okay? So take care, everyone. See you again soon. All right? Thank you
Thank
for
you. Have a
being
wonderful
here.
day.
So, the CLA, the